What's up, y'all? I am Mr. Steele, local real estate agent here in DFW. And today, this is going to be the first episode starting my new series, How to Sell and Buy Real Estate Without an Agent. So, again, if you are someone who is dead set on doing this without an agent, I want to try to help you as much as I can. As always, I would advise you to work with an agent that is good, but I would, at the bare minimum, like to educate you on what you should look for so that you're not getting ripped off, you're not overpaying in commissions for value you're not getting. And as always, this is not legal advice. I'm not an attorney, I'm just a real estate agent. So today I want to just brainstorm and talk about the pros and the cons of working with and without an agent. Okay. And, we're not going to get into all of them today, but I just want to give you a few examples so you can kind of, start getting an idea of what I'm getting into here to not work with one, or what should I be expecting of my agent if I am going to be working with one and paying a commission. Okay. So for starters, let's start with buying. If you're a buyer, right, you're looking to buy a property, because I think that's most people, they want to buy their first home, or maybe you already own one and you want to start getting some investment properties, or acquiring more residential real estate properties, right? So let's talk about the benefits of not having an agent, and then a con of not having an agent. So the pro is going to be the first thing that comes to mind for me is going to be your offer will look way more appealing to a seller, right? You're going to be way more competitive, because typically the sellers are paying for the commission of your buying agent. They assume most buyers are going to have an agent, and there's already been a discussion between the sellers and the listing agent on how much are we willing to pay for the buyers to buy my home to the commission of the buying agent. Okay. So if you're bringing an offer to the table and you don't have an agent, you're already looking better than most offers, because most offers are going to just have an assumption. Like the buying agent, before making the offer, I'm going to call or talk to the listing agent and go, hey, what's the BAC, buyer agent commission? What are y'all paying? Right? What are y'all offering in, agent commissions? And so, that's already going to be factored into pretty much all the offers that buyers are making, right? Hey, I want to buy the home for 300,000, and my agreed to commission that your agent disclosed is going to be 2.5% or 3%, right? 9 grand on 300,000. So that's gonna make your offer more appealing off rip. If a buyer has an agent, they offer 300,000. Let's say it's full price. All the home is listed for 300,000. They offer 300,000. You offer 300,000. You don't have an agent, right? Your offer is already more appealing at the exact same price point, because that's 9 grand. They're not gonna have to pay to your agent, which is super appealing, right? That's a good deal. If I'm selling and you're saving me almost 10 grand off rip, like, all right, well, that's the better offer. Okay. And there's a lot of ways you can structure that to your benefit as well, right? So you could actually make a lower offer and it still be a better offer or as good, because again, they are not having to pay those commissions, right? So roughly, if the commission saved is 9 grand, you could, for example, go down to 291, right? And so even though they're selling it for $9,000 less, they're also not paying that $9,000 in commissions to your agent. So that's actually typically a better offer, right? Because now the price is actually down, the purchase price, which all the fees the seller has to pay at closing are typically based on that purchase price, title policy, the commission to their agent. So, they're going to be saving money even though it's basically the same deal. So their proceeds actually still might look just a hair better, because the overall sales price is lower. And then they're saving the 9 grand on commissions to your agent. So that's a good way of being able to potentially get in a property under market value a little bit, because you can offer even a little bit less and be as competitive, if not still more competitive, by them not having to cover the cost of your agent in those commissions. So what's a con? So a con, when I think about all of this, right off rip, if I am a buyer and I'm trying to, obviously it'd be different for me since I'm licensed, I can represent myself. But if I'm a buyer and I'm trying to do this on my own without an agent, accessibility is the first problem you're going to run into, because most of the time you look at a home on Zillow, you go, oh, I like this home. Hey, agent, can we go look at this home at 3 today? And they go, sure. And they schedule a showing, through like an app that you probably don't have or have access to or know to use, and you can't, right? And then chances are there's like a Supra or a Bluetooth key box on the door that agent also only has access to. They're paying a fee. I know I pay those fees, to be able to log onto an app, to pair the phone to that box, to be able to put in a specific code that I have for just myself that unlocks the box so the key falls down so I can let you in the home. So there's a lot of barriers to entry to be able to get in these homes and look at them. And so you're going to run into that off rip. And I thought about this and I was like, how can I help? What's the best advice I could give you to try to help avoid some of these problems or still get into some of these homes? Because chances are the best homes are going to have an agent listing them. They're going to have really nice, Bluetooth boxes or an electronic code that, either you need an agent to be able to get into, or at bare minimum, the seller still may not just be comfortable giving you that code. If there's an agent, there is there's a path forward for damages or theft, stuff like that. You kind of know who was in there and what time, and those agents are liable. You can call those agents, call the brokerages, file a complaint, go to Trek, right? If you let like random people into the home and you give them a random code, there's no accountability. And so, especially if it's a nice home or if the sellers are still living in that home, they have kids, they're valuable, stuff like that, they're probably not going to be jumping to give out, access to the home to just random people. So you're going to run into that problem. So how do you get around this obstacle? I thought about this for a while, and here's my recommendation. Here's what I came up with. So if I were you and you found a home on Zillow, try to find the listing agent. Try to get in touch with them. Zillow will sometimes show who that listing agent is. There may not be contact information, but you can probably Google the brokerage and keep hunting around until you find the right brokerage and find that agent and tell them, hey, I am looking to buy a home. Me and my, wife or whoever, myself, I'd like to come look at the home. But I don't have an agent. And any good listing agent, I know I would, their eyebrows are going to go up, their ears are going to perk up because this is an opportunity, okay? You don't have an agent, which means I can potentially save my clients even more money, which will make me look good, right? If you make an offer on the home, that's commission my clients aren't going to have to pay, right? So that's good for them. I'm being fiduciarily responsible towards my clients. And on the flip side, I could potentially make the deal even better for me, right? Like, if you don't have an agent and you don't know how to draft up an offer, well, I might go to my clients and go, hey man, I got some clients that want to look at the home, but they don't have an agent. I'm going to meet them there, let them in. If they want to make an offer, tell you what, I'll do that extra work. I'm still going to represent you. My interest is solely fiduciarily towards you. But if they want to make an offer and they tell me what they want to make and they're willing to represent themselves and, carry the burden and risk of not having an agent, I'll draft up whatever offer they want to make and review it with you. And now you don't have to pay for a 3% towards an agent. I'll do it for just 1%. So I'm saving you 2, right? So instead of paying 6, you pay 4. I make a little bit more money. My clients save some money. It's a win-win for both myself and my sellers. And so any agent would jump at the chance to go, if they're good, I know I would. Okay, great. I'd love to. They'll probably, ask them, will you meet me there? Or could you let me look at the home since I don't have an agent? And a good listing agent is going to be like, yes, absolutely. When would you like to come look at the home? I've done that before because I see the opportunity. I recognize it as an opportunity, not only for me as my sellers. And obviously there's other, benefits to that. If you don't have an agent, that means it's one less set of eyes and hands going over everything. It's like, I only have to worry about you. I'm not, you're my, the person I'm, representing against, right? So, I'm kind of like sparring with you, the buyer, not a trained agent. And so, that's more appealing too. I'm going to go, hey man, there's more chance of them missing something or whatever because they're not an agent. They don't have the experience. So just a better deal for my clients in general. But if you're willing to take those risks, that is how I would get around the con of accessibility issues. I would reach out to that listing agent, see if they'll let you come look at the home and show it to you themselves. because I think they'll, see the opportunity, and that's probably how you'll be able to get inside. Going to be a little bit more footwork, probably going to be at the mercy of these agents. You're not going to be able to just like look at homes left and right, but if you're willing to be patient and deal with that, eventually you probably will find a good deal on a home where you're able to make a competitive offer and get that home because they're not, having to pay your agent that commission. So let's switch to the seller real quick and wrap this up. So on the selling, and I'll keep this quick because we're already at 10 minutes. So on the selling, the first pro is just very obvious. You're going to save money. The sellers pay for the commissions, both the buying agent and selling agent. And so if you're not having to pay for the selling agent to represent yourself, you're going to save yourself easily up to 3%, if not more, in commissions payable. And if it's an expensive home, that could be tens of thousands of dollars easy. No problem. Lots of money saved. Con is going to be marketability issues, right? So when you have a good agent, they have a lot of experience in marketing. They know exactly what to do, what the steps typically are. Sign in the yard, really nice sign, throw it up on MLS. MLS has this thing where it spits the property out to every single platform it can, Zillow and realtor.com, obviously MLS as well, stuff like that. And so you're not going to have near as much exposure. Now, good for you there are all these Zillow and realtor.com platforms that you can sign on to, probably pay a fee, I think, and you can still get that property out there rather than just going like the FSBO sign in a yard for sell by owner and then only crossing your fingers and hoping that. And this is what most FSBO for sell by owners do, is they just put like a cheap for sell sign in the yard and just wait and sit for months. And eventually that can still work, but if you actually want to like move the product and, do it in a timely manner and get more exposure, and typically if you're getting more exposure, you're getting more offers, you're getting more foot traffic, there's more competition. With competition comes better opportunity to sell for more money. So, you want that competition and exposure and marketability. And so I would highly recommend you, don't short, do professional photography, make sure you're throwing it up on every platform you have access to as a regular person, Zillow, realtor.com, pay the fees, put it on there, whatever, right? Maybe pay for a better sign in the yard, make sure the yard looks great, aesthetic, and then you're probably going to have to deal and contend with people who want to, look at the property and run those risks of giving them access to the property and whatever that looks like. Just be aware of that. That's another con. So those are some pros and cons that I would take into consideration first if this is a route you're looking to take, and if you are dead set on not going with an agent. There's some pros and cons to not working with an agent versus working with an agent. Moving forward, guys, I'm going to keep the episode strictly selling and buying and have episodes for each. And I'm going to start with steps 1 on both and start rolling out those episodes soon. So I hope to see you back here for those episodes. If you found this valuable, please like and subscribe so you can get the notifications when I roll out these new episodes. And thanks so much for tuning in. Peace.